All right. Hey guys, welcome to week number 4 of the DC Unknown podcast. My name is Chris, and with me I have,
It's Devin.
and we are doing the Mary Celeste ship that the crew mysteriously disappeared. So, Devin, how do you want to start this one?
Yeah, this is kind of a similar story to something that we already covered, actually, in our first episode, uh,
Yeah.
the Flan and I Lighthouse mystery. It's kind of similar to that, where we have a situation in which we had a bunch of people disappear and not leave much of a trace behind.
Hmm.
This was a little bit before the Mary Celeste. I'm sorry, the Flannan Isles. This was a little bit before that, a couple years. This happened on December 5th, 1872.
Hmm.
It was 1,000 miles west of Portugal, and they were spotted by another boat, the De Gracia. I believe that's how you say that. It's DEI, or D or Day, and I'm sure the other word is Gracia. So something like that.
Yeah.
So they found it. They boarded it, and they found that it was empty,
Hmm.
and just completely empty. All the whole crew is gone. Nobody is left, and almost the boat was almost in perfect condition. There was only one missing lifeboat, but the bottom of the ship was filled with about 3.5 feet of water. But other than that, cargo intact. Everything else was intact. They didn't. They at least if they did take any, they didn't take much of the food and water supply, uh, because the boat was found with 6 months worth of food and water left.
So yeah, so we can start off with there's a sea monster theory that basically the ship was attacked by some sort of sea creature or sea monster like a kraken or anything like that, just a behemoth of a monster that must have attacked the ship. But I really don't think this theory is correct because like you said it was in almost pristine condition. So if a big animal did attack this ship, wouldn't it have like ripped it apart basically, and maybe not even kept it afloat?
You would imagine, yeah. But this is definitely my personal favorite theory, because I just love the idea of the mystical kraken coming out of the water to
Yeah.
just scoop up all these crew members without damaging the ship. Well, except knocking off a lifeboat and filling the bottom of it with water.
Yeah.
But it didn't sink, though.
Yeah, exactly. See that's the main reason because if you think of a giant kraken, you think of like something grabbing onto the top of the ship and like trying to rip it apart as a creature would do. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to keep this one at the like top for the because it does explain a lot. And like they must have saw the creature, took a life raft or a lifeboat, and just sail off.
Plus, if you think about it, statistically speaking, we only have about 96% of our oceans are left undiscovered.
Oh yeah, that's big.
You
Yeah.
know, you think about how vast the ocean is. It's like 3/4 of the entire Earth is just covered in the ocean. We've only explored 4% of that.
Yeah, I mean, this also explains like where the crew went. You'd think the crew would show up somewhere, but maybe the monster ate them. Maybe the kraken just ripped them right out of their little lifeboat and just ate them. And that maybe that's where they went. I mean, the ship
Yeah,
showed up, but after the kraken had his fair share of meal, maybe he just left the ship and the ship like floated ashore. That's what make this
yeah.
this theory work so well, I think.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, uh, with 96% of the ocean left to discover, I mean, there's got to be all
Something,
kinds of
something lurking.
crazy,
Yeah,
crazy creatures that we haven't discovered yet. Because I mean, the vast majority of new species that are being discovered every year live in
yeah,
the
it's
ocean,
crazy.
and
Exactly. Yeah, it's
especially
crazy.
when you get down to depths that we're not able to go very often, you can find some freaky stuff down there.
Yeah. So maybe something did lurk up or something attacked him. But of course, we have other theories like a fire. I really doubt this one for me.
Yeah, I mean, even at the time when it was brought up back in the 1800s, because this theory has been around since the ship was discovered empty.
Yeah.
Uh, the fire theory uh, was there, but a lot of people did not personally subscribe to this theory. Uh, but speaking of the word subscribe,
Yeah, subscribe to this channel right now. Sorry to cut in there, but
all right, yeah, shameless our shameless plug for the day
you
is
know,
over now.
so
But yeah, they didn't subscribe to this theory even back in the 1800s when it was first brought up.
see it just
So it,
it doesn't make sense though, cuz like if you have a fire on your ship, you're going to try to put it out. You're not going to try to take a life raft off your boat. And if you did do that, that means the fire's still growing on your ship, right? So how the hell did the fire
yeah,
just automatically put itself out when they jumped off the ship? You know? That just doesn't
yeah,
explain anything.
and plus, other than the water in the bottom, there was no damage.
Yeah. Exactly. So like and there was no burn damage.
Yeah, so the the most valid, I mean, yeah, the most valid counterpoint in this situation is the easiest counterpoint to give, where it's like this it just doesn't make any
Logic. Yeah,
sense.
logically doesn't make
Like
sense. Like why would you just jump
not
off?
even like not even a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think this theory just cuts out at all. Now,
Probably brought up by in Portugal, whatever village this theory came out of. Definitely came out of the village idiot.
yeah. So, my personal favorite idea, but this one also isn't is has many flukes in it. Is raided by pirates. Now, the main fluke in this one is Devin, as Devin stated earlier, the ship had all of its cargo basically intact and everything. So if it was pirates, they wouldn't just take the people; they'd be taking the ship supplies and everything, and like that's the main flaw with this is, if it was pirates, do you think they'd pillage? Unless they were like part of a slave trade. What do you think about that? Like grabbing those people and using them as slaves.
That is possible.
That is very possible. And maybe they just like try to like break a hole in the bottom of their ship thinking they would sink, but ended up just floating ashore. Maybe that's the possibility.
Yeah, that's slave trade is not something that I had thought of before.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it was that time. It was the 1800s and late 1800s to be. But
It's about that time for pirates.
yeah. Well, pirates are still around, but not even that. It's the slaves. The slave trades are still pretty popular.
Are you ready, kids?
I wouldn't say that with slave trades in the same sentence.
Nay, nay, Captain.
Nay, nay, Captain. Yeah, I mean this theory though, like it makes mostly sense. I mean, but I don't know. I that's next to the sea monster, probably the closest thing that we'll have to debunk this. But Devin, what other ones you got? What other theories?
Well, of course, this would not be a
Conspiracy.
DC Unknown uh, podcast
Yes.
without the mention of, you guessed it, alien abduction.
Yes.
You always have to bring up the alien abduction. once again, if you're watching a theory on this channel, us discussing, if you're watching a mystery on this channel,
Yeah.
we're discussing theories about it, it was probably aliens.
Yeah, I mean, seriously though, like this one with the previous episodes, this one makes a lot of sense too. I mean, whether you like to admit it or not, folks, like if aliens did come in, they could have, why they were trying to escape from the aliens, they got on their boat, their little life raft boat, and they tried to float away. Aliens picked them up, and well, they're screwed. And somehow the aliens went on their ship to look for others, maybe, and somehow like broke the ship and like poked a hole in it and started leaking and started flooding the bottom of the ship, and maybe that's how they just disappeared. Honestly, that's like not a terrible idea. I mean, if you're one of those people who wants to believe in aliens, I mean, this could be, one of the earlier contacts with them, or maybe like, I mean, this was a massive theory. Like, this is not like it's not even like a long shot. What do you think, Devin?
I could certainly see it.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like I feel like if for the Battle of Los Angeles episode,
yeah.
spoiler alert, I can conclude that the alien theory is the most plausible. I think that I feel like I can lend credit to the alien abduction theory. I feel like it's
Oh yeah.
just, I feel like I have
Yeah.
to.
And
Obligated.
on this channel, I think for a lot of the conspiracies, a lot of the alien ones are gonna be like sounding the best, because like some of these always have flaws, but the alien one might not have any flaws other than like the hole in the ship. But again, that's explained by like maybe the fact that the aliens were looking for others and somehow poked a hole in the bottom of the ship and started flooding it,
Yeah,
getting rid of the evidence that they were there.
I think one of the reasons that alien abduction theories are going to be uh, so popular is just the fact that
It's a
they're so
conspiracy.
easy.
Yeah, they
Like
are.
it's
They are very easy. Yes.
and it's hard to like they're easy to point to and then
Yeah.
they're hard to debunk because it's
Exactly.
like you know there's not really anything you can do to disprove that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, this is like the top theory now with pirates and sea monsters. I mean, like it or not, folks, but we might be visited by aliens, and maybe they're coming back soon to take more of us. Maybe they're coming to take us because we know too much about their existence already in our season 1.
Definitely, they're definitely coming after us.
So if we don't post by the next week, yeah, this might mean that either one, the Illuminati got to us, or two, the aliens got to us and abducted me and Devin. Now, if
Yeah,
this happens, everyone, let us be known as the people who discovered all this.
yeah. The the Illuminati, if they are coming after us, they're not as quick to act as everyone seems to think they are.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
we're still here.
Oh
They seem
yeah.
to be taking their sweet
they're
time.
taking they're taking a sweet time. But if you did watch the Illuminati podcast, you will know that there's a big possibility that Illuminati's not around. But back on topic of this one, what other theories you got, Devin, on this ship?
Well, we have a theory that is more grounded in the realm of reality, and that's just the crew was getting turned, just crazy drunk.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I could see that.
And then you're having a good time, having a couple of drinks or like
Yeah.
50, and then all of a sudden you're getting dared to jump off a boat.
I
And you're
mean,
like, yeah, I could do that.
this theory is like pretty accurate too. I mean, if like one was drunk and they accidentally like pushed, like somehow punctured the boat, lower part of the boat, went back upstairs. They all got on the life raft to celebrate, on the small raft, and maybe the raft got flipped by a wave or something. Boom, flipped in the ocean. You're super drunk in the ocean, and they all just drowned. And then the
Yeah,
boat floated ashore. I mean, that's a really good possibility, honestly. What do you think about it?
I think I think it's a good theory just because it's not like the fire theory where it just does not make any sense at all. But then it's also not like the alien abduction theory or the sea monster theory where it's
Mhm.
like, you know, uh, easy to come up with, hard to disprove.
Yeah.
Uh, because this one is more grounded in reality than,
Yeah.
or at least reality as we know it, more grounded in reality than the other ones are.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
this is definitely it's the most realistic theory of the ones we've had. I mean,
So,
uh, just at the way we see reality. Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
in
mean,
terms of most
you
realistic.
know what we could do is combine them where maybe a pirate ship was coming up on them, right? They
Yeah,
they were already drunk on their ship. Pirates come up to raid them. A sea monster comes out of the water, starts attacking their ship. They panic. They jump off their boat while the pirates are trying to get the sea monster off their ship. The aliens come and pick them up out of their raft. What do you think about that? You think that's a major possibility?
I think I think we've got a movie script here.
Yeah. This sounds like a new action film coming out in the summer.
DC Unknown if we made a movie.
Basically, I mean, all of these can combine. I mean, sounds crazy, but it's possible, is it not?
It's just it would be just all over the place, just a
It would be.
complete mess.
I like this theory, honestly. I like our theory better than the other theories. These basic theories of just I like ours because it's more intense. You know.
In the words of Liam Neeson, there's always a bigger fish.
Ooh, true, 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 true. Exactly, and that might be what happening here. The crew is the drunken crew is the small fish in this scenario, and the pirates are a bigger fish, and then the aliens are or the sea monsters a bigger fish, and then the aliens are the biggest fish. Whoa,
And that's why we haven't seen the Kraken since he got abducted by
whoa!
aliens.
While they are all getting eaten, the drunken crew is eaten. The pirates that were raiding them are eaten inside this kraken. The kraken is chowing down on these guys. The aliens pick up the kraken, right,
And probe the Kraken.
and probe the kraken. And here we are, boys. Oh, I like this theory. I like this theory a lot. But
Well, here's an idea.
yeah,
What if they were all just on shrooms?
I mean that's a possibility. We would
What
never
if
know.
what if you took the fire theory and then a piece of a piece of the crunk theory, and then you
Yeah.
combined them? Because maybe the village idiot was actually onto something with this fire. What if it wasn't real fire? It was fake fire.
Oh, baby. Maybe it was.
Yeah, what if they were just high off their faces on shrooms,
And then
hallucinating all
the fire, hallucinating the fire,
yeah,
panicked.
hallucinating all this fire, throwing buckets of water into the bottom of the boat,
Yeah,
and then eventually they just decide to jump ship.
I mean, this theory, that could be possible. That theory is
And then
pretty good.
they end up walking right into, I don't know, finally get to shore and walk into like a bear cave or something.
Die. That's
Yeah,
not even a part of
yeah.
any of our theories, the bear cave, but that might be a new one.
To walk right into a bear cave.
So, I mean, to conclude this episode, what do you think the most realistic theories are, Devin?
Um, I'm gonna have to go with the the crew is drunk.
Honestly,
That's gonna be my number one. Number two is gonna be slave trade.
yeah, I like the slave trade idea, where the pirates working with the slaves must have picked them up. But I also like the idea that, there is a possibility that an alien picked him up out there. And I mean, you were talking about before how you like the sea monster idea. I mean, we can't throw that out the window, so that one's a big possibility too, where maybe Kraken did come up and, maybe they try to abandon ship and the Kraken just ate him up.
No, that would be entertaining.
Hey, wow, a little sociopath Devin here. A little first glimpse of him. I'm sure we'll see him again. But
I think I
yeah, I mean,
think uh but no, I think most entertaining the seal of most entertaining would have to get stuck on the shrooms theory.
yeah, yeah. I like the shrooms theory a lot too, or the bigger fish theory.
Just both of those theories are just complete messes.
Yeah. So to conclude this, guys, those are probably our top theories for. I mean, this story here. Well, it's not really a story. It actually happened, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, no one really knows to this day on what happened, and me and Devin really just wanted to cover this because it was kind of like the heart of a conspiracy theory is like a big mystery, and this one was
Yeah.
was a really big mystery, and I like this topic, but there's just not really anything to go off of, guys. I'm sorry, but like Devin said, the ship was intact, everything was pretty normal, nothing too out of the ordinary, and nothing too crazy, so it must have been something basic.
Yeah, and anybody who would have been there, it would be long dead by now.
Exactly. If anybody survived from that, well, that was over 100 years ago, so I'm pretty sure they're done.
Yeah, they'd be like 140 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah. So
147.
yeah, so if anybody was a part of that crew, they are well gone now. But well, yeah, I mean, this topic was a shorter one, but tell us down in the comments if you guys like these shorter ones or do you like the longer non-cut podcasts.
Yeah, and keep the conversation going as always.
Yeah. And well, next week, what we have planned is if the government or aliens don't kill us. Next week we have planned mysterious creatures that might or might not exist. But
Cryptozoology.
yep, we shall
Given our thoughts.
we shall dive into that topic. And honestly, I'm gonna keep my thoughts pretty wide on that because I want to believe, but I'm not seeing it right now. So me and Devin got to do some research on that topic, though.
Yep.
Any final words, Devin?
Subscribe.
Subscribe, the classic. Yep. If you guys do like these, though, yeah, do hit that like button and do subscribe. We greatly appreciate it, and eventually, maybe down the road, we'll get popular enough. You guys give us your ideas, and maybe we'll get some merch going and stuff. Hopefully, that happens. Hopefully, make it happen,
Oh
guys.
yeah.
But yeah, until next week, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Yep. See you then.